I'm posting a series of discussions on my channel with links to, well, with a link to a song. It's either a song, a film, or an episode of a TV series. And the discussion is built around what the subject of what I posted. So the film that's been posted in this discussion is very touching film, Touched by Grace. Actually, I watched it I watched it tonight, and it actually, so that I'd know what I was talking. I watched it so that I could understand the story to it and know what I was talking about. And towards the end, I was almost in tears because this this girl with Down syndrome, Grace, dies at the end of it, and it's her funeral. And the guy who's conducting the funeral mentions that over 90% of babies with Down syndrome were aborted. That and it's because of a sort of philosophy that there's something that's going to be a burden on society shouldn't be brought into the world. It's got to be killed. You've got to kill it before it's born. And I know that abortion was legalised in 1967, and what happened was my mother was pregnant with her first child. I was born in 1969, and shortly after abortion was legalised, my mother got pregnant with her first child, and she was diagnosed with this German measles when she was pregnant. And because abortion had just been legalised at the time, the doctors had advised her to terminate the pregnancy. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But I think, but bullying among teenagers is it seems to be a common theme in films and television, really. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that film. There was a book written by the horror writer Stephen King called Carrie about a girl who's got, what is it, telekinetic or something. She's got these powers where she can make things move, and they make her, and they make her into, what is it, homecoming queen? I don't know what they call it in America. Where they go on this they have to go on this platform, don't they, and whatever, and these girls are playing a prank on her where they pour pig's blood all over her, and because she gets pig's blood poured over her, she goes mad and starts causing all this mayhem that kills loads of people. And there's been they made a film of it in the 70s, and they made a couple of remakes of it as well. In the early days of Channel 4, there was a play called Good and Bad at Games about this. This I think he was a sixth former at a high school, and they gave him a nickname, Animal, and he was sort of treated as an outsider, and there was once someone's downloaded people. I think people have downloaded it onto YouTube more than once, and what actually happens in it the other lads that he goes to school with treat him very badly. What they do? He gets caught smoking in his boot room, and instead of reporting him to the headmaster for smoking, they take it in. They sort of take the law into their own hands and decide to punish him himself. And they hold him down, shave his pubic hair off, and then put him in this basket and put the basket under the shower, and walk off and leave him there. And this, it's like it's like 10 years into the future. He's plotted his revenge on the ringleaders and his bullies, and he's trying to. There was one guy who had sympathy for him and let him out of the basket, and got him out of the basket that was under his shower. And because he did that, he sort of he thinks this guy is the best friend of the ringleader, the bullies who was causing all this trouble. He thinks this guy will help him out with his revenge against this this guy that he wants to have vengeance against, and anyway, it's not particularly my kind of a play, because anyway, what happens at the end is that he's like pestering this bloke to help him out with his vengeance against this school bully, but this other guy just wants no part of it at all, because he's this guy's. But this person who shaved his pubic hair off was his best friend at school, and he wants no part of it. But it just comes out in conversation that he keeps a gun in his car. So this animal, this guy they call Animal, thinks what he does. He mugs he nicks this guy's gun out of his car. He mugs this. He puts something in the road to distract him while he's in his car. And then when this guy gets out of his car, he mugs him and gets and whacks him over the head with something and knocks him unconscious. Then he goes and gets his car keys, and gets his gun out of his car. So he's got his gun, and he's planning to kill him with it. And this guy who did all this bullying, who organised all this bullying years ago, he's now on the cricket pitch. His wife and his friends are watching him, and so suddenly this fella that he picked on when he was at school, he runs on the pitch with this gun, and they say, "Get off the pitch! You're not properly dressed." And he fires he keeps firing this gun, and he shoots him in the leg, and then points the gun to his head. But he doesn't kill. He doesn't get to kill him in the end because one of the blokes that he's playing cricket with was his best friend, and he this guy's got the gun in his hand. He hits him in the head with a cricket bat and knocks him unconscious. Anyway, I've told you the entire story of it now, haven't I? You've ruined it for you. It's not a very good play. It's terrible. It's an awful play. Lots of bad language in it. But what this film that I posted in the description. It's about some girls who decide to play a prank on a girl with Down syndrome, and it's like the story to it is a bit similar to Carrie, because they vote her as homecoming queen or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call these things because it's all American, isn't it? And I don't know what they. And get her up on this platform, and get her singing with this other Down syndrome guy playing the guitar, and because they do that, and then it backfires. The whole thing backfires. All these kids start laughing at them. And because a lot of people with Down syndrome have got heart defects, because all these kids are laughing at her, she suddenly has trouble breathing. And she has to be taken into hospital. And it's shortly after that she dies. But it's very touching because she forgives. No, this girl who's sort of gone along with this prank. This Grace, the Down syndrome girl, forgives her for what happened. But obviously, we all know that people with Down syndrome and other mental disabilities can sometimes get bullied by teenagers. And even by people in the 20s sometimes. And I've mentioned this before, that I was on this return to work course at Cheshire College in Hertford, in Downchester Road in Hertford, which is in North West Cheshire. It's now been demolished and houses built in its place. And the nearest college to here is at Winsford now. But a long time ago, when I was in my mid-20s, I was on a return to work course because I had nothing else to do really, because they put me on a club from North West Job Centre. And this girl, there was a girl who was on this course, got into a heated argument with a girl who had Down syndrome. And she was a very high-functioning Down syndrome, this girl was. You'd only know she had Down syndrome by looking. You could only tell she had. You could tell she had Down syndrome by looking at her, but she wasn't that much. She wasn't really. She wasn't very handicapped. She was only. It was more just you could tell by her appearance that she had Down syndrome, and she got into a heated argument with this other girl, and this other girl suddenly blurted out, "At least they do live a long time. Down syndromes don't," and then stormed off. But I mean, this is people in the 20s who I'm talking about here. It's not. That was just the results of that remark was just the results of someone losing the temper, basically. People can sometimes say things like that when they've lost the temper with someone. It just suddenly comes out. And there used to be a guy in Barnton. He had this. The kids had this nickname for him. His name was Eddie. I'm not saying what his second name was, because you got to be careful mentioning people's names online, because members of their families can sometimes hear it. I'm not going to say what his first name was Eddie. I'm not going to say what his second name was, but he had a nickname by the kids, and it was Eddie Nutter. And the lads used to open the window and shout Eddie Nutter at him when they went past him on the school bus. But he had he was handicapped to a certain degree. But that was a nickname for him, Eddie Nutter. But I was diagnosed with a form of autism known as Asperger's syndrome when I was in my 20s. But I think all the way through my school life, I think the other kids did recognise, they were aware that there was something different about me, and they became more aware of it when I was especially aware of it when I was a teenager, and those of you who watch my videos will know that my nickname was Dinky Dalton. It started off Dinky Dalton, then it was just Dinky usually, or Dinks. And there was when it was in the top year, the 5th year in high school, there was this lad that used to sit next to me and call me names on the school bus. And he said he was simple-minded and backwards, and he said he mentioned that there was a girl in his class at school who said it's tight how everyone picks on Dinky because he is a bit backwards. But I don't know whether it's true that anybody has said that. He could have just been making it up. I suppose if she had said that, I'm glad she was showing a degree of sympathy towards me. But a lot of the kids were aware that I had some sort of a lot of the kids did think that I had some sort of mental impairment. In fact, after I left school, it was thought by some that I didn't actually have a mental impairment, that was just putting on a show. Because I went on this huge shady scheme when I left school. And there was a lad there that didn't particularly like me. And there was one day when a couple of mental handicapped lads came to visit the place. And he said with him it's tight because it's not his fault. It was like what he was saying was it wouldn't be right to pick on him, because you won't be justified in doing that. But he did. He felt I was justified in picking on me because I was just acting stupid, like. But what he said was, "Stop acting so thick." And this girl joined in by saying, "Philip, acting like you're thick when you know full well that you're not." Well, that's a load of baloney, because I've never been acting like anything. I don't act like anything. I don't act. I act like what I am. I act the way I am. I don't act any different from the way I am. That's the reality of things. Teenagers don't seem to understand that sometimes. They feel they're justified in picking on someone who they perceive to be a bit of an idiot. It's like a form of punishment in a way. It's like basically a form of punishment that they inflict on that person. there is no justification for it, really. And my friend Ashley says he gets bullied at work to a certain extent, by one of the managers. You know, I think he said he was bullied by one of the managers. But it's easier. It's easier. It's more acceptable to pick on someone who looks normal, really. I think that people such as Down syndromes do have a sort of sign on them saying leave us alone, because teenagers won't pick on them because he feels it's not their fault that the way they are, because their appearance is different, and so they simply just won't pick on them. But somebody who looks the same as everyone else and seems to act different, they can get picked on more easily. And I think that is a problem with having Asperger's syndrome and other forms of autism. That people and teenagers especially tend to perceive you as a normal person who acts stupid. But I think, but bullying does generally tend to be worse among adolescents than adults. I think as people get older, they don't pick on others the same because they've got more maturity. I think that sometimes they've just got the maturity when they get older to realise that they shouldn't do it. But anyway, if it's an interesting film to watch, and it's an insight into what does go on, because these girls. Just there was this girl called Grace with Down syndrome. I went to this high school, and these girls just wanted to play a joke, a prank on her. It was basically a prank. That's what they were trying to do. It was like what they did in the film Carrie, where they got this girl on stage and then poured pig's blood all over her. Well, they didn't go as far as pouring pig's blood all over this girl with Down syndrome, but they got a singing accompanied by this boy with had the same condition as her, playing the guitar, and it made people laugh. And because this girl had a heart defect, she couldn't take it. She had trouble. She was having trouble breathing. She had to be rushed into hospital, and it was like a teenage prank that just backfired. It went the consequences of it. There was consequences to it that weren't anticipated. It actually resulted. It was a prank that actually resulted in the death of this girl. So in a way, it was worse than pouring pig's blood all over her, in a way, because it killed her. Anyway. I'm going to keep posting sensible stuff on my channel now until we get my number of videos up to the 1.2k mark. I plan things out in my head what I'm going to say. I think sometimes because I don't write it down, I forget. what I'm going to say. But the thing is, I have been diagnosed with this Asperger's syndrome, and teenagers, those that I went to school with, and then those that I was on the youth training skills with and so forth, did know that did know that there was something different about me, but I don't think they could quite put the finger on what it was. I think I think when it was on the YTS, they just got the idea that it was just acting the goat. There was just a normal person who was acting the goat. Really, they thought I just. They probably thought that it was just something that would grow out of eventually, but the people with Down syndrome can't grow out of what they've got. They're stuck with it for life. And what I've got, I'm stuck with it for life as well. It won't. It's never. I've got the faith that mankind's problems will be sorted out, or will all be sorted out sometime in the future. But I'm not going to go into that too much because I don't want to disclose what religious group I belong to on my YouTube channel. So, I'm not going to be able to get this up to half an hour because it's. I'd have to ramble on about the wind and the weather to get it up to half an hour. I'm not going to. Although it's less than 3 minutes off now before it does get up to half an hour. Anyway, the film Touched by Grace that I've put in the description. It's basically a film about the immaturity of teenagers and the problems it can lead to. No, in this film, in this particular story, it actually led to someone's death. But these teenagers, they didn't have the maturity to realise that not anything that was anything like that was going to. They didn't anticipate the consequences of their actions because they haven't got the maturity always really to foresee anything like that. So, but if you're a teenager and you're watching this, just my advice to you is just try and accept everyone the way they are. Don't play pranks on people because it can have unforeseen consequences. It's and it's not helpful to anyone to pick on them, even though you might feel like picking on someone. It's not helpful to them. But you know where I come from, the word tight. It sort of means cruel. No, that's what. When you use the word tight, it's sort of. I'm using it in the context of cruelty. That's how it's used. It's because the different words can have different meanings depending on what context they're used in. So I'm getting this up to half an hour after all. You do a countdown, couldn't you? Where they got up to half an hour. it will take ages for it to get processed. Anyway, but it's going to be well worth the wait to post this. Anyway, I'll be back soon with more material.